centuries ago, the Pope Maximilian decided that no longer should you just say, I'm going to get married to you, and on the consummation of marriage you get a ring. Because of the divorce or a lot of the splitting up at the time, he decreed that it would be a good idea to have an engagement ring, which means it's a betrothal ring. It's a promise to marry this girl. And obviously it had 6 stones, 3 on the side, would be the groom's birthstone and his mother's birthstone, his father's birthstone. And on the other side of the ring would be her birthstone and her mother and father, bringing the united, showing that the community at large, that these 2 families are being united. So it wasn't just any old thing that was thrown together, it was something of great importance. The joining of these 2 people, these 2 young people, and the joining of 2 families. And so great care and concern was taken into actually thinking about the ring and making the ring. And what the symbolization of it. It's not only a new start, it's a commitment, it's a circle. So a continuous commitment to this union, but also a portal, also an entrance into a new institution of marriage. And it's the single most important decision a young man and young girl is going to make, because you're tying yourself down to somebody for 50, 60 years. And that should be, the symbol of that is something that must be thought about very speculatively. It varies, obviously, and it varies from woman to woman, and it varies from culture to culture. The culture in Lithuania is very, very conservative, or actually less than conservative. The current culture is that, which is actually not a culture, it's cultureless, really. So anything you choose other than that is a great step up, is wonderful. But yes, jokes aside, tastes are different. The old solitaire, decades ago, worked for a lot of people, where it was thought that that was the tradition. It actually wasn't. Pollock was there first before the solitaire. But solitaires are is the middle of the road. There's not a lot you can do with it, because it's one single stone. You can get a brilliant, beautiful diamond, which is good as well. But there's not much you can do with it. So some ladies are very conservative, and they don't want expression of art and glitzy things. They want something smaller, and they want something more conservative. So that would be the old trend. But with women's emancipation and the flair that women have and the freedom they have now, they've moved away from that. So you need to find out, well, you should know, if you're going to get engaged to a lady that you've known more than a week, what her tastes are. You've got to listen to her, you've got to walk around in shops, and you've got to see what kind of ring she likes. But also, you've got to be careful, because the ring she likes, it could be that beautiful dress in the window that doesn't suit her. It's lovely and beautiful, but her hips are maybe a bit too big, or she's a bit thin for that dress, or maybe she's more well endowed for that dress. So you've got to take care and have a look at it and see what kind of thing she likes firstly, and secondly, does it fit her? Bony fingers, small thin bony fingers, a single stone doesn't look good on her. It's a fashion thing that's got to look good on her for 50 years. You understand? And so when you're looking for a ring like that, you've got to look for that. Obviously, you've got to look at cost. Often, if you want to buy a 3-carat ring, it's going to set you back $40,000 US. But you can get a Pollock 3-carat ring for $14,000, $15,000 US. You understand? So you're getting the same. People must understand that a diamond that's 1 point or 10 points is the exact same diamond as a 3-carat diamond. It's a diamond formed by the same way, in the same manner, with the same earth. In fact, it's harder to cut a little pinprick. It's not dust, it's a diamond. You understand? So that will also help you to make a decision on what to do. If you've got champagne tastes but beer money, it's the same translation into rings. You can get away with a lot more with a different expression. But you can move away from tradition, because your tradition might not necessarily be everyone else's tradition. Because something is tradition or traditional doesn't mean to say you have to do it like that. There's no more barriers anymore. The world has changed. We are in a global village now. So if you travel abroad and anything like that, you can find a ring that fits in not only with you but within the world, and it's timeless. It's never out of fashion, because it suits you and it's to your taste as well. When you're going to buy the ring, you must always have in mind the engagement ring must match the wedding ring. If you've already bought a wedding ring, then you're in the spot of bother. But have a look at it. Have a look at the shape of your lady's hands, and short hands or fat hands or fingers that are longer. And you need to then bear in mind that you can't actually choose a wedding ring on its own. What you should really do is you choose them both together. In other words, you choose an engagement ring that's compatible with the ring that will be the wedding ring one day. You understand? So that's the way you've got to look at it. Once you've decided what kind of taste you are, there's variable. A reputable jeweler should be able to tell you that will go and be able to match something nicely with each other. So the choice is very important, because the two will be together. In Western cultures, it's like that. It's not on one hand, on the one hand, and on the other hand, a different ring. They come together. So it's very important that you choose it, and you need help with that. So you need to go to some jeweler or some person who's going to assist you with that. Not just sell you something that for the sake of the sale. You've got a forward plan for these kind of things. And so it's important to get the right kind of advice for that. And don't go to one place. The other important thing is make sure you know what you're getting. If you don't get a certificate, a proper certificate, by the jeweler himself or by an independent authority, be careful. Because every jeweler should stand behind his product. If you want to buy a diamond that's a carat, it must be 1 carat. It must be that color that you specify. It must be that clarity. It's very, very important that you understand that diamond isn't a diamond, is a diamond, is a diamond. There are varying categories of diamonds. You can buy a diamond of that quality and pay 5,000 litres for it, and you can buy a diamond the same size with a different quality and pay 15,000. No, don't go and pay 15,000 litres for a 5,000 diamond. Be very careful. The origins of where the diamonds come from, the origins of where the gold comes from, and where the jewelry is made is very important. And if the lady is unsure of where these things come from, step away. My advice to you, step away. Go back later or do some research or whatever, but step away from it and make sure that what you're getting is the genuine article. Often you can, because colouring is important, especially earrings, but by the shape of the hands and everything, very often you can see people portray who they are. If you have if a guy brings a picture of his girlfriend or his fiancée to me, and she's vivacious and she's dressed in a certain sense, you can understand exactly what kind of style she has. So then you wouldn't suggest her something like that, obviously. You know, you would suggest something that fits in with the personality. That comes across in the picture quite easily. So you can. It's dangerous because you don't really know the personality of the person, but generally by the dress and the way the photograph, it tells you a lot about the person. So you can actually mix and match it. If the chap is not really sure what she likes, we understand that she would like that. There's a good chance she would like that, you understand? So that you don't go for something outrageously artistic and blasé, you understand? You go for something that's more middle of the road for you. And so we do offer that. We actually have been quite successful at that in recent past, where the ladies have come back later with her fiancé to buy a wedding ring from us and say, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we do get it right. It's just it's a question of really being involved in what they're doing. Customer satisfaction is we understand what they do. We know that they love each other. We know that they're getting married, and it's a special thing. So we want to be involved in it because we want to supply the engagement ring, or when she gives him a child. In our tradition, she gets a ring for that too. You understand? So he comes back because he knows we understand it. So he comes back for the birth of his child, for Valentine's Day, for Christmas Day, for her birthday. You understand? Because he understands that you can get that kind of advice and assistance. Absolutely not first. It starts with that. You know, the Oscars are not about the Oscars really. If you say to any lady, and you'll watch it over CNN, the Oscars about the dress. Oh, the dress, she was wearing that, he was wearing this. Weddings in Western culture, and certainly our culture, my culture, it's the ring. The first thing all girls ask each other is, let me see the ring. And that is the biggest expense. And it's the cleverest expense. Because the wedding is important. I see the young girls having photographs in the road, in the street, yeah, and you go to a restaurant and you have a meal, it's gone. And people are going to criticize your dress. People are going to criticize the chicken or the beef, or this wasn't good or that was good. But that passes. They'll forget that. But the ring is a constant reminder. The ring is there. The ring is the cement between the two people for that day, for the rest of their lives. So the ring is a constant reminder. So it has to be uppermost. It starts with the ring. The dress can follow. The hairstyle can follow. The venue can follow. And it falls away. But the ring is the one that stays the test of time. And so it's the biggest expense. What we do in our culture is we first buy the ring, and whatever money we've budgeted left over, that's for the wedding. Obviously the dress is important also for the lady. But in South Africa, a lot of people hire the dresses as well. You understand? So you can get a 50,000 litre dress and hire it for 1,000 litres for the day, kind of thing. But the ring you can't. So that's the way we budget. That's the way traditionally it's budgeted for. Because of course the ring must be. You don't want to walk around for the next 60 years with something that's really not okay.